Tell you what, guys, our front three are fantastic. We have a look at them there. We've got Rodney and Gale in the top scorers. Hugworth with the best average rating and the most assists, most player of the matches. We've got the most clean sheets in the league. It's been a fantastic start to life in Tier 7 for us after 11 games. We've got 2 games to play today, though. I did decide, if you remember at the end of the last episode, whether I was going to choose between Hyde and Clitheroe. Hyde is still in second place. Clitheroe have actually dropped down to 6th, so I've decided to go for Hyde, and then we'll take on Bishop Stortford in that FA Cup third qualifying round. But let's run the intro, and we'll get into the game. Yes, that's right, guys. Welcome back to the northeast of England for episode number 34 of Minnows to Kings, back here with Norton Stockton Ancients, where, as I said, we are going along very nicely in the league. We've had those 2 games since you were last with us. It was a comfortable 4-1 win over Sheffield. They did have a player sent off in the 3rd minute, though, which made life a little bit easier for us. And then we had a bore draw against Curzon Ashton, a team who we have beaten twice before. But if we have a look at the match stats, we had 36 shots with 13 on target. They had 5 shots. Their goalkeeper had an 8.3 in goal. We absolutely battered them, but just couldn't find a way past the goalkeeper. But that does still leave us 8 points clear at the top with far superior goal difference. We are taking on second place today with a chance to extend our lead. So let's click forward, get into the game. We'll go through today's lineup, which is going to be McNamara, Cuban, Asiakono, Wozniak and Winfield as the back 4. We're then going Glover, Spencer and Eastman in the midfield with the familiar front 3 that we've got. James Gale also rotating into that front 3. Harker hasn't really found his goal scoring form for us so far in this division. It's possibly because we're playing with a complete forward as opposed to what Mr. Harker is actually capable of playing, but he also doesn't enjoy big matches. But again, he's very consistent, so he's hitting his attributes as intended. James Gale, on the other hand, has done exceptionally well with those 9 goals. But that is the lineup for today's game. It's only been a couple of days since we, of course, drew 0-0 with Curzon Ashton. So the players are still a little bit tired. Rodney, in particular, I believe, is actually lacking in fitness just a little bit. You can see he's not fully green. Hugworth is not fully green. Glover, again. We get a lot of games in a short space of time early on in these seasons down in the lower tiers of England. But we do have our first highlight approaching the 10-minute mark, and it's Cubbon advancing down the right-hand side with the ball. Another player who's been absolutely fantastic for us. He's gone all the way to the byline, gets the ball across towards Rodney. He gets his head on the ball, but it's a poor header. Yeah, Cubbon's come in and he's been brilliant for us. We haven't really missed Sean Wilson as the right wing-back. If we're entirely honest, Cubbon is a very, very good player. No real pros which are a concern. Not great at passing. And he is also not great at marking, but we sort of use our wing-backs more like wingers, if we're honest, as opposed to defenders. Thompson now for Hyde United. He gives the ball back to Jones. Jones into Rossiter. Now it's back to Jones again. We're looking to force them to go long here. Thompson has gone long. Asiakono has won the header and it's found Rodney. Now it's Rob Harker with the effort, but it's a poor effort. Poor effort from Rob Harker. Needs to hit the target. Right, 22 on the clock, and it is Hyde United coming forward with the ball with Ojibodi. Gets the ball in towards Waldo, but it's a great header by Cubbon. But Kenyon picks the ball up in the field. Jonah Mitchell has put Hyde United ahead in the 23rd minute. We did initially clear the ball, but then we just didn't close the spaces down quick enough, and they got the ball back in. It was a great header away by Cubbon, but Kenyon picked it up. Great ball into Ojibodi, and then first time ball to Mitchell with a first time effort, and it's gone underneath McNamara to leave us behind in the game, which I don't think we've been behind yet this season. Right, we're getting into half time now. Rodney's actually picked up a little bit of an injury out on that left hand side, so we're going to have to change Rodney at half time. I was worried about his lack of fitness. We are still behind though, which is disappointing. We don't have, because I haven't put him on the bench, Josh Scott. Jack Egan, you can come play inside forward on the left hand side. And I'm going to tell the lads to show a bit of desire. We don't want to be losing. This would close the lead in the league to just the 5 points, but Mitchell is through again. Great through ball by Waldo. Nobody's gone across to close him down. Eventually we get there, and it was Glover who made the challenge from that defensive midfield role, and the ball comfortably ends up with McNamara. Harker's not had the best of games either. We may look to bring James Gale on in a minute, but first of all we've got Winfield down the left hand side to the byline, finds Jack Egan all the way back to Spencer. Now Winfield again driving into the box, finds Tremaine Eastman, time to pick his spot, but it's well blocked by Corbett. We are now going to make that change. We're going to get James Gale on for Rob Harker, get the big man on. Highlight straight from the throw-in though, and it's Hugworth with the ball. Now Glover again, Spencer finds Dylan Hugworth, has an effort but it's blocked again, and the ball is back with Hollingshead in the Hyde United goal. Goes long, but we'll be underneath this. Aziakono wins it easy. Now it's Eastman into Morton Spencer. He's got Egan out on the left hand side, finds Rob Harker. Of course the substitution hasn't taken place yet. Spencer with a great ball over the top towards Dylan Hugworth. Back to Tremaine Eastman, and Tremaine Eastman grabs his third goal of the season. Great ball by Spencer to set that up, and Hugworth has the presence of mind to cut the ball back for the runner coming into the box, which was this time around Eastman. It's a great play down the right hand side and a fantastic finish. We'll stick with the change though. Harker on a 6.5 is not having the best of games.
Alright guys, into injury time now. Nothing else has happened. As I say that, we do actually end up with a highlight. As Aziakono goes long towards Egan, brings it down well, pulls the ball back to Spencer. Is this the winner? He's hit the post. He's hit the post. That was the chance to win the game, and now we're on the back foot with Hyde coming forward with Levy. Finds Waldo. There he is. Jacko gets the ball across towards Waldo. Waldo's hit the post this time. Both teams have hit the post in injury time at the end of the game. Jacko back to Jones, and the referee has blown the full-time whistle. We come away from the away game with Hyde United with a 1-1 draw,
and that should maintain our 8-point gap at the top. I tell them they were unlucky. I think we were the better team in the end in terms of shots and XG, but we have maintained our 8-point cushion. It's now over FC United of Manchester, who have picked up a 2-1 win against Stafford Rangers. Hyde dropped down to third after that result, but I'm happy to keep the 8 points. FC United do have a game in hand though. Next game is in 3 days time. Rodney is going to miss that game though. He's out for 6 to 9 days, and fatigue is starting to become a little bit of a factor. You can see there that we're 12 games without losing now, which is fantastic. We're quickly going to send these players off for a rest for 3 days. They're all absolutely shattered. Hopefully for this Bishop Stortford game they'll come back fighting fit. That's going to be the second half of the episode though. I've got to click forward a couple of times to get to the game, but I'll catch up with you guys for that. Right then guys, we've clicked forward a few times. Rodney hasn't made it back in time, so we're going to have to go with Josh Scott as the inside forward. We're going to stick, I still can't pronounce his name, I've got no idea. We're going to go Joe Snowden as well. So the lineup that we're going to go for today's game is, we're going to swap these two round. We're going to go Winfield, Wozniak, Aziakono and Cubban, with then Glover, Eastman and Spencer as the midfield three. Josh Scott, Dylan Hugworth and Rob James Gale. Harker disappointing in that last game. Josh Scott, the one disappointment with him is he's inconsistent. He doesn't like big matches. He's also left-footed, so he's not really suited to this inside forward role. But we don't really have a lot of options, so we're just going to have to go with it. Bishop Stortford in the FA Cup, of course, from the Vanarama South, so a division higher than us, a tier higher than us. So hoping to pick up another good result in the FA Cup, get into the fourth qualifying round, which I believe is our board's minimum expectation. So as long as we keep the board happy, 892 people here, which is a decent turnout for us. Attendances are starting to grow just a little bit, which is great. That will help with the money situation. Of course, as I said at the start of the season, I've got no idea what's going to happen with the stadium, especially if we are promoted. Dylan Hugworth has now picked up an injury. Oh, the players are just so tired. Jack Egan, you're going to have to come across, mate. and we're going to have to see if we can get through without two of our star players. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with the stadium. Cubban with the throw and finds Spencer. Now Cubban again gets the ball into the boxes towards James Gale, but the keeper's punched it away, and it's headed further clear by Tideman, but only as far as Asiakono. Gives the ball back to Glover. Now Wozniak. He's got Winfield out on the left-hand side. Winfield inside to Eastman. Winfield's gone again if he can find him. He switches the play instead to Cubban. Cubban gets the ball across towards James Gale. James Gale gets his head on the ball, and he grabs himself his 10th goal of the season. And we find ourselves ahead on the half-hour mark. Really, really good goal there. Eastman had Winfield on the left, but chose to go right instead. Cubban did the work. Could have got the ball into the box here, but waited, and then gets the ball in. The defender there, Sharman, jumps underneath the ball, and Gale is there to take advantage. Stadium-wise, I don't know whether we end up renting until we can afford a stadium of our own, or can afford to expand ours. I don't know if they could expand ours. I know that certainly the residents won't be very happy, because the pitch is literally out of people's back gardens, including my parents, and I know exactly what my mother would have to say about it. But Egan pulls the ball back for Glover. It's a great block, but the ball falls to Charlie Winfield, and we've doubled our advantage in the first half. Find ourselves now 2-0 up, approaching half time. So it does look like we are going to be advancing to the next qualifying round. We are doing very, very well again against a team who are a division above us, which is fantastic. It bodes well for us for next season to go up again, because it does look like we're going to go up this season as champions. It would be nice to do the same next season. As I've said in the past, it is around about League 2, League 1 where we really start to struggle. James Gale gets on the end of that corner from Glover to put us 3-0 up. Yeah, League 2, League 1 is where I've sort of started to struggle a little bit in the past. Partly because of how fast we go up the leagues, the reputation doesn't catch up, and you can't really sign players who are League 2, League 1 quality. So that's where you start to struggle. Once the reputation does catch up and you sort of get yourself into the Championship, I think I remember when I did this in FM20, I got stuck in League 1 for about 3 seasons. But then I went up to the Championship and I won the Championship in my first season. Not entirely sure how, but League 1 was the stopping point for me. League 2, I believe, was a playoff win. So you do start to struggle once you get into the actual football league as opposed to being a non-league team. Cubban with the ball into the box. Mullins picks it up though, and it's cleared by the goalkeeper. Now it's Palmer with the ball. Now Tideman looking to get Charles away, but it's Winfield. I was going to say Winfield's won it, but he's jumped underneath it. Now Charles is advancing into our penalty area, gets to the byline, cuts back, finds Branson. Branson with the effort from range, not too bad of an effort, but McNamara had it covered. He had it covered. We'll say he had it covered. We've battered Bishop Stortford here. We've allowed only 4 shots in the game compared to the 24 that we've had. This injury is concerning though. I'm hoping that we've got a break now until our next game, so I can get some of these players rested. We don't have a big squad. What you can see on the screen is pretty much our squad. There's not a lot of players here. We just can't afford to have a lot of players here. Otherwise, the wage budget and our bank balance will just plummet. But yeah, that's a nice, comfortable win. I've got 4 days till I play Clitheroe, so not really a lot of break. That's a nice bit of money in the bank though, which is fantastic. James Gale, you played really well, 2 goals and an assist. When is the draw for the 4th qualifying round? It is on the 6th, so it's tomorrow. So I'm going to quickly click forward, see who we're drawn against. Autosave kicking in again. Doesn't take too long though. Not so early on. We're only in season 4. This is the bit that can take the time. What I might start doing is once we get a couple of divisions higher, is I'll start dropping off some of the lower tiers, like tier 10 and tier 9, because we don't need those to be loaded in the game. We're never going to be there again. 4th qualifying round, 69 teams still, so we're going to draw all teams. We have been drawn at home against Hemel Hempstead, who are another Vanarama National South team. They are currently sat 8th in that division. So it could be an interesting game for us. The manager's not very good, is he, with a 38% win ratio. Their key player is Harry Brook, who would just about get into our team. Maybe. So yeah, we'll click forward again. We'll let that game be scheduled. We'll see when it is, and we'll decide what we're going to do in the next episode. We will do the Hemel Hempstead game purely because they are the division above us. We're not playing any of these, are we, really? They're too low down the division. Ashton are in 5th. Mask, no, too low down. Whitby 16th. It could potentially be Ashton. Hemel Hempstead and Ashton United. Ashton in 5th in the table. Going quite nicely. Colin McGurk, their best player. Again, he's not too bad, Not too bad for the 18-year-old. So yeah, that's going to be the next episode, guys. We've had an awful draw and then a nice comfortable FA Cup win with James Gale in top form. I wonder if I've fulfilled his promise yet. No, I've got 18 days left. We're going to have to start James Gale in a few more games. I can't afford to have unhappy players. Well, we've already got some unhappy players, but these are the guys who just want to start more games. Wants to leave, unhappy at the amount of playing time, wants to start more. Unhappy, although we can see there that we're actually sorting the Sam Green one out. Gareth East, unhappy at the amount of playing time. I'll just terminate your loan, to be fair. But team dynamics were looking very good, really, partly because of our form, but we do have 5 unhappy players. But yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. As always, hit that thumbs up button just to help me out, just to help me, tick along nicely. I've been Dean, and I'll see you all for the next episode.